Good Monday morning. Brief service announcement before we get started. Keep your eye on my YouTube page. We're going to start changing it up, and I'm going to start adding some new segments on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I cannot believe I just made that announcement. I'm so not ready for it, but it's going to happen. All right, it's going to be good. This week, this Monday morning, as you go into your week, I'm reminding myself, and I'm reminding you, don't throw out the trash if it's not trash, y'all. Who is it on your planet, who is it in your world that you're thinking, there is no hope for that person? In fact, they have done so much junk, so much crappy junk that I don't even want there to be hope for them. Do you know what? I'm done with them. Out with you. Out with the garbage. No one is in that place. I want you to think this week as you go into your week, do a little bit of inward study here. Who's your person? Who's your person that you're like, nope, they're hopeless. There's no look, and I'm not saying invite abuse. I'm not saying invite someone into a place in your life that they don't belong, right? We all have our circles of innermost and then a little bit outer and then a little bit out, right? Okay, you got your boundaries. You understand. You follow me. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying this. Who is that person that you've given up on? You've said okay, I'm just going to be straight real with you. You've said, there's no hope for them. Like, I don't even want there to be hope for them. In fact, what I want for them is the worst. Like, they've done me wrong. I want the absolute worst for them. So whatever it is, good. Let it happen to them. They deserve it. Well, this week, remember as you're going into your week, remember throughout your week, remember the story of Saul, who straight up persecuted Christians. He called for their death. And Jesus changed him up. He even changed his name. He called him Paul. And he became one of the most important human beings in Christian history. He wrote the majority of the New Testament of the Bible. And this guy started out as an enemy of Jesus. He started out as an enemy of Christians. You know, think about Peter, who literally denied Jesus 3 times. 3 times. But Jesus said about him, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. Think about the desperate places that they were in. Saul, Peter, the prodigal son, who was feeding the pigs. You know, his older brother said, he's never coming home. And do you know what? I don't even want him to come home. He has gone way too far. So what's good for him right now is not home. What's good for him right now is whatever he gets, because whatever he gets, he deserves it. This week, I'm going to, and I'm saying, would you please rein that all in and look at those people who you think whatever you get, that's what you deserve. Look at them through the compassionate eyes of Jesus. Look at them through the compassionate eyes of the Father who ran to the prodigal son, put a ring on his finger and a robe on his back, sandals on his feet. Look at that person with compassion through the eyes of Jesus, who went right to Peter. He rose and he says, hey, tell the disciples and tell Peter Because that dude is feeling crappy about himself right now. He thinks that he's going to get what he deserves. And I'm saying to you that there's that one person that comes to your mind that you're like, there's one person that comes to my mind that I'm like, let them have what they deserve. Just let them have it. I'm saying, just like they need to do a 180, just like they need to repent, which is not beating yourself up. It's doing a 180 and coming up to the way that you should be thinking. Just like they need to do a 180, and let's hope and pray for them to do that this week. Let's not disregard them like we have been disregarding them and saying, you get what you deserve. Let's us do that 180 too. Let's us repent from where we're thinking about that person. You get what you deserve. Let's us repent. Let's us do a 180. And let's us start hoping for the best in their life, thinking of the best in their life, and knowing that the only way, we're all saying, I want to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Well, how are we going to see the goodness of God in the land of the living if we're hoping they get what they deserve? The goodness of God would be for them to get what they don't deserve. The goodness of God would be for them to get even better than they deserve, because that's God's heart for all of us. And if I want it for me, I need to want it for everyone else. This is a hard thing, y'all, but God put it straight on my brain and my heart for us this week. So this week, who's that person? Well, start rehearsing goodness over them. Say it out loud. Start rehearsing blessing over them. Say it out loud. Ask God to bless them. They might be Peter, who, if left to his own devices, could have ended up like Judas. But Peter went hard after what God had for him. The prodigal son who left unto himself could have just rotted in the pig pen. But he pulled up his bootstraps and went home. Paul could have been the biggest murderer of Christians known in history. But when Jesus confronted him face to face, Paul did a 180. So whoever it is in your life that you think deserves the worst, do a 180 and hope and pray for them to do a 180. It's going to change your heart about them, and I'll bet you that atmosphere change is going to change them. You're going to see them come running home, just like the prodigal son, just like Peter did with Jesus on the beach, just like Paul did when Jesus straight up knocked him off his high horse. This week, have high hopes for those people who are around you. And it is going to be an amazing week, and we are going to see the goodness of God in the land of the living. Have a great week.